Good morning, students. Today we will take the next article, that is it is also an application of the Gauss law, that 8.2.2, the electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight charge conductor. Right? In the last, that is the yesterday's lecture, we have seen the electric field intensity due to the spherical shell, that is the uniformly charged spherical shell. Here we are considering the long straight conductor, that is a straight wire we are considering, and we have to find the intensity due to electric field at some distance from that straight wire. Right? So here, let us start. Consider a uniformly charged wire of infinite length. So this is this charge wire, right? And lambda is the linear charge density of the wire. So the linear charge density in this first article, we have seen the sigma. That is sigma is what we have seen this in the last article. If we remember, that is the charge density. This is the surface charge density. It is here. It is for the spherical chains. Here we are considering as this wire, it is linear. That is the charge density along the straight path, where we can say it is along the linear wire, as the wire is straight. So the lambda is the linear charge density of the wire. That is nothing but the charge per unit length. So that is, we can write the lambda is equal to charge. We take the charge as Q upon L. This L is nothing but the length of the wire. So the next, this wire it is kept in the dielectric medium of the permittivity epsilon. That is, epsilon is equal to epsilon 0 into K. We know that K is 1 for air and the vacuum. Now to find the electric field intensity at a point at a distance r from the wire. So this is our wire and we have to find the electric field intensity at some point. Let that point be P here. This is the P point and we have to find the electric field intensity at this point, that is P. And what is given, this point is at a distance r from the wire. So this distance it is nothing but the r. We can take this distance as the r, small r, right? Now to find the electric intensity at this point, we have to consider the Gaussian surface, right? So here we'll take the small surface, that is ds, around the point P. This is ds. So it is, so imagine as shown in the figure, the Gaussian cylinder, it is formed of the length small l. This, it is the length of the cylinder. We are taking only this much part of the wire, this much part, and around this part the uniform electric field is there, and from this part we are taken the point P, which is at a distance r, and we are consider the small surface, that is the ds, and the Gaussian cylinder, it is formed around this wire, and that cylinder, it is having the length equal to small l, and this, it is passing through, that Gaussian cylinder is passing through the point P. So we have considered this small surface, this small area ds at the point P, and this area, this ds, it is along the, it is on the Gaussian surface, right? So now E is the electric field. It is same at all the point, that is at all the point on the curved surface. This is our curved surface, and as the Gauss's law, we have seen that electric field intensity, it is same at all the points on this Gaussian curved surface, right? So, and this theta is nothing but the angle between this point P, that is the electric field intensity E, and the normal to this surface, right? Electric field intensity, it is pointing in this direction, and the normal to this surface. So this angle between these two, it is equal to 0. That is, we have theta is equal to 0. That is, we can write cos of theta is equal to 1. Then as per Gauss law, E into ds, it is equal to E into ds cos of theta. So here cos of theta, it is equal to 1. So we can write here E into ds. As this term it becomes equal to 1. Now the flux through the area ds, we are considering the flux only, we are considering the flux only for this much of area, that is ds. So let us consider the flux for this area, it be d phi, right? D phi is the flux. So d phi, the flux through area ds, that small area ds on the Gaussian surface, it is d phi is equal to E into ds, right? Therefore the total electric flux through the Gaussian surface, this d phi is nothing but the electric flux on this small surface area which is on the Gaussian surface. Now what we are considering, the total electric flux, that is the total flux on this total Gaussian surface. So we'll integrate that, that is phi is equal to total flux. For the small area we have taken, it is d phi, and for the entire Gaussian surface we will take phi. It is integration of this term, that is E into ds. So this E into ds, this is nothing but E into ds we have, it is in the vector form. So E into ds, this E intensity, it is same all over the surface, right? I have written here somewhere, the electric field, it is same at all the points on the curved surface. So as this is same, that is we can take it as constant, and in the integration only ds will remain. So as this is the cylinder, right, it is a cylinder, so we can take it as the surface area as E is equal to 2 pi r into L for the cylindrical surface. So the next, we know that the phi is equal to q by epsilon 0 by the Gauss's law, that phi is equal to q upon epsilon 0, that is nothing but phi is equal to E into ds. This is given in the last lecture, right? Phi is equal to q upon epsilon 0, that is I have written here q upon epsilon 0 by Gauss's law. Then by equation 1 and 2, what is our equation number 1? This is the equation number 1, that is phi is equal to E into 2 pi RL, and phi is equal to q upon epsilon 0. That LHS are equal, so equating the equation 1 and 2, that is q upon epsilon 0 is equal to E into 2 pi r into L. But as we know the linear charge density, lambda is nothing but a linear charge density of the wire. That linear charge density for this much area, this for this length, right? It is given as lambda is equal to charge per unit length, that is q is the charge and the length of that small length we are considering, that is nothing but the L. So it will be q upon lambda into L. We'll put this value in this equation, that is this equation becomes as lambda into L, this lambda into L upon epsilon 0 is equal to E into 2 pi r into L. Now we have to find this intensity, electric field intensity. So E is equal to, we'll simplify the equation, lambda into L upon epsilon 0 2 pi r into L. So this is the equation, that is this is the formula for the intensity of electric field due to a long straight conductor. Now if lambda is positive, what is the lambda charge per unit length? It is positive. Then this direction of E, it is in the outward direction. I'll draw here. Then this electric field intensity, it is acting in the downward direction. And if this lambda is positive, then this intensity of electric field, it is acting in the inward direction, like this. That is, this is E, it is acting in the inward, and this E, it is acting in the outward. So this is about the electric field intensity due to the straight conductor. That is a charged straight conductor, we can say. We will have the look for this, right? What we have taken, the charged conductor, right? The charged conductor and the linear charge density, that is lambda is equal to q upon. Then we have to find the electric intensity at some point from this charged conductor. We have taken the point P, considered the small surface area, that is the ds around the point P, and the Gaussian surface it is formed, that is it is in the form of a cylinder. Then we have find the first the flux, that is electric flux d phi around the surface ds, and then the total flux along the Gaussian surface. Then equating this charge per unit length, right? Then equating that by Gauss's law, where we compare phi, and the phi we have find along the Gaussian surface, that is the cylindrical surface. By comparing these two, we got the equation as E is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon 0 r. You can copy this. And this is the next part.